Hello and welcome to Let's Play Space Quest 3, The Pirates of Pestilon. When we last left Roger Wilco, he was adrift in space in an escape pod, running out of air. Let's see if we can't improve his situation, shall we? Space Quest 3 doesn't quite take us back to the level of technology of the Space Quest 1 remake, but we do at least have real music again. As always, I will record the music using my Roland MT-32, so you can experience it the way it was meant to sound. So let's begin. It has been an indeterminate amount of time since Roger Wilco rocketed away from Volhol's burning space fortress. Time stands still for our hero in suspended animation. Its engines long spent, the small escape pod drifts aimlessly through unfamiliar star fields, its course altered many times by small asteroids and space debris. Inside, Roger lies undisturbed in his sleep chamber. But not for long. Obviously, otherwise it would be a boring game. Seems something has taken an interest in our little pod. The pod, considered to be nothing more than another piece of scrap, is taken aboard a robot-commanded garbage freighter. Unfortunately, these robots have no regard for organics. That seems like a design oversight. The small pod is jarred by a sudden shock, which triggers the sleep chamber's revive mode. As the glass shroud slides back, Roger slowly begins to regain consciousness. Where am I? Well, some of you may remember there being digital speech for that particular line. Unfortunately, unlike newer Sierra games, this game does not have the ability to use the MT-32 and the Sound Blaster at the same time, so it cannot give you any digital sound if you use the MT-32. You notice that the sounds from the pod grow softer until they are imperceptible. Having served its purpose and taxed its resources, the pod gives a final hum and shuts down. Fortunately though, that particular line of dialogue is the only digital sound in the entire game, so we won't be missing much. Well, there we are, aboard a garbage freighter. well, it's a little bit better than being adrift in an escape pod running out of air. But obviously we are going to need a way off of this place. So let's see what we can do. If we check our inventory, you can see that we still have the glowing gem from the previous game. You're still carrying the piece of Orium you picked up on Labion during your last adventure. However, it has long since lost its glow. Then why is it still described as glowing gem here? You can actually also, you don't have to type look for the inventory items, you can also just use the arrow keys. Look at them like that. I guess the mouse would also work. Yes! You can also use the mouse to walk. I just prefer to use the keyboard for these games. Because you still need to type anyway to do stuff. So it's easier if you don't constantly have to switch between keyboard and mouse. Let's see where we are. You're standing in a debris-cluttered junk bay. The escape pod rests in the middle of the room. There are chunks of metal lying around, which seem to be small sections of old spaceware. Let's look at the pod. Okay. This is the escape pod which safely whisked you away from Vohol's burning asteroid fortress. The skin of the pod plainly registers the cumulative damage long periods of space travel can inflict on a small craft such as this. Well, I can't really tell from this angle, but anyway. Well, most of the other stuff on this screen seems to be junk, although there is a very conspicuous round object on the floor here. The floor is composed of a mosaic of overlapping welded steel plates. The menage of used metal plates appear to have been cut from a variety of sources. There's a small round object lying nearby. Now let's look at the object. A closer look at the object on the floor reveals that it is a warp motivator. It looks a bit more high-tech than the other junk strewn about this locale. Sturdily constructed, its only protrusion is a modular plug near its base. How can you tell? Can we take that with us? Looks a bit big, but that's never stopped us before. While relatively small, it seems to be quite dense. I think we're looking at a potential hernia if any attempts are made to manually relocate it. Okay, well that seems that we have to find another way to relocate it. Well, let's check out some other areas of this place. Like down here. Various types of abandoned spacecraft litter the floor of this intergalactic junkyard. All this place needs is a junkyard dog. You shiver at the thought. Yeah, rather not have one of those around here. Hey look, it's a TIE fighter. See if we can look at that. This bulbous craft looks like it has seen a lot of action in its day. You'll believe it to be a bow TIE fighter, dating back to the Cologne Wars. A true relic. Ha ha ha. Bow TIE fighter, that's obvious, and Cologne Wars is a play on Clone Wars. Even though this game obviously predates the Star Wars sequels, the Clone Wars were mentioned in the very first Star Wars movie, so that's what they're referencing here. And there's an Acme rocket. This ship is another fine but worthless Acme product. What, did Wile E. Coyote use it? And this... could it be? The ship says Jupiter 2. This baby must have been floating around out here for a long time. It doesn't hold your interest for very long. Well, it sort of resembles the ship from Lost in Space, but I think that was a Jupiter 5, if I'm not mistaken, although I could be. Well, not much else here. So let's head to right here, but I'm afraid that we'll have to do that in the next video.